So, good morning. I'm going to turn my mat over so you can see me. There. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm just sitting on the floor in some kind of a position. You could be in easy pose. You could be in lotus, half lotus. So you find a way to settle in. And here we're going to just be aware, be conscious in our body of where our body is. What is it that's touching the mat? What is it? Where are our hands touching? What is that relationship between our the top of crown of our head and the sit bones? And we're going to just take a moment to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, and just waking up our body. And let's just take our hands, press them on the mat behind us, and stretch our chest up, our breastbone up, and really feel that opening in the chest. We can inhale into our chest and exhale. And now inhale into our belly, and then our chest, and then exhale. And then open your arms up and around, and open your arms up one more time and around. Good. And now let's just put one hand on the mat and the other hand arching over, just giving ourselves a lovely stretch just to open our side body out. And our other side. And then we'll go back and forth, just moving, bending that bottom elbow, seeing how our body is this morning, listening to it. Where are we in space? Good. And we'll roll our shoulders around. If you have your legs crossed, you could uncross them and put the other leg on top. And we're going to roll our shoulders around. And then the other way. Take our elbows out, really roll our elbows out, up and down. And then the other way. And now our wrists, rolling our wrists around, stretching our fingers out, walking our fingers up that spider web of mobility and around, and then stretching our hands out and stretching up. And now we're going to do a slight twist here. We're going to just hand on our knee and stretch up and around and look over our shoulder and breathe. feeling a sense of release. And then the other side. Now let's just come down and move into our downward dog here. So it'll be our first downward dog, and we're going to take it quite slowly. We're actually going to do some cat and cow and a few other poses before we get into downward dog. But we'll just lift our spine up and then down. And draw that belly in and feel that you are curving the spine up. The cervical spine, the lumbar spine, thoracic spine around the ribs especially. And now we're coming down. And we're lifting up and down, up and down. And now we're going to lift our left arm up and then come down and underneath. And we'll lift it up again and come down and underneath. And lift it up and down and underneath. And last time we're going to leave this arm on the shoulder and just settle in here. If you can keep the weight on the other hand, or you could lift that hand up and wrap it right around and create a bind around the waist, or you could rest it on the sacrum. So you decide what you need to do. If you have it wrapped around you, you can lift that shoulder up a little bit more and increase the twist. And you can breathe here, as usual, through your nose, inhaling and exhaling, feeling your side ribs opening up here. And let's put that hand down and lift it up one more time and then place it down on the ground. It's really, right now, let's just make sure that our fingers are stretched on the mat and that our palms are like suction cups, so we get a very good grounding here. And then lift the other arm up and lace it through your keyhole. And we'll do that 3 more times. And this time, we're going to once again stretch that out, land on the side body, and then lift the other arm up, turning it so that the palm is facing up. And you either have your hand on the sacrum or you move it around to the waist and develop a bind here. And here we're opening up the shoulder, lifting up the arm, and feeling that the stretch and the twist is deepening. Very nice. And just breathing here into that side body. Good. And now we'll stretch that arm up and place it down and come back into tabletop. And let's just get our hips moving a little. So I'm going to just stretch my, sorry. I'm just going to stretch my, my toe out and just draw it around on the ground here and move it in an arc. And I'm following it with my eyes. So I'm having a little bit of a neck movement here as well. And then if you like, you can lift that off the ground and trace it on air, as they say in ballet class. There you go. So we're just moving that leg around. It's a little bit of a balancing act, a strengthening and hip mobility move. Okay, let's try the other side. So we're just, once again, pointing the toe, stretching around the back, following with your eyes, getting our body warmed up here. And now we'll lift it up and rotate it around. Good, now settle that down and we'll move into downward dog. So we're going to go back slowly into downward dog. I'm just turning my toes under and I'm coming up as though I'm coming into a child's pose, except I'm lifting my knees up. I'm moving back with my knees bent. I'm putting my belly on my thighs and then I'm going to draw my heels down while maintaining my belly towards my thighs. So it's early in the class and we're just teasing out what works here. And we're just going to settle in here for a moment into our downward dog, breathing into our back body and feeling a sense of opening in our front body. You can pedal out the feet, of course. You could have them hip width apart or together. You find your best mode of downward dog. Very nice. And I'm just letting my head go and I'm rotating my my upper arms out to give my neck a little bit more room and to open out my shoulders a little. Very nice. Now let's lift the right leg up and then draw that forward into a low lunge here. Very nice. And we'll come back, clasping our hands and drawing them back and up. Feeling our chest open, feeling that we are breathing into that chest. And really drawing the hands back and lifting the chest. We'll find we'll have more movement as we settle in here. Very nice. Now we're going to work towards a camel. And I must say that I'm not really very, very supple in my front thigh. So this is going to be very exploratory. So I'm just going to lift up that back foot. This might be where you are, just lifting the back foot up. You might have a strap, possibly, and you could put it around your foot, potentially, although it seems very awkward, actually. So let me see if I can do this. Put this on my foot, get back into my, and then you could draw your foot up that way so that you are, oops, so that you are, you don't have to reach the foot, but you can draw it up towards your thigh here. Or you could grasp your ankle and draw it up. And here, you're just holding on for dear life, basically. Stretching that front thigh. and then put it down. Good. And then let's just come back and stretch out that hamstring slightly. And then let's reposition myself. You also could put a blanket underneath your knee if you are sensitive to knee injuries or pain. And just have your knee on something. But once again, you could use that strap if you wanted, or you could just tilt that leg up and clasp it and hold on to it. Balancing here. I find it quite difficult to balance in this place, but it's always a process. And you might find the stretch in the front of your thigh is deepening here. And now we'll put that foot down and we'll come back again and we will hinge at the hip, coming forward. I clasp the top of my toes and draw myself forward here just to develop a stretch in my hamstring from my heel all the way to my hip. Good. All right, and let's come forward and just an easy forward movement, working with our hip flexors and our hamstrings. So just limbering our beautiful bodies up and feeling quite good about it. Okay, good. So let's try that one more time, lifting that up. And let's see if we can put our front leg down here into sort of pigeon-like pose. Put your hand on the ground and then lift your back heel up and stretch once more. So it's just another method of stretching that front thigh. Good. All right. And let's try the other side. We're going to bring our other foot forward so that we are in a lunge here. And we're going to draw our hands back, and we can press forward, stretching that hip flexor and the glute, opening up the chest, drawing up and in those core muscles at the bottom of your torso, and really drawing those hands up, opening up your shoulders and pressing into the floor and balancing. Very nice. Now we're going to just once again come forward and lift up that back leg. You might need something to help you balance or not, and draw that foot in, stretching out the front thigh. And really doing it long enough that you feel you've made a little progress, not too long to feel pain. Good. And now we're going to put that foot down, and we're going to bring that front foot into a kind of pigeon-like space, and we'll plant the hand down and lift that back foot again and maybe deepen the stretch. You have a different vantage point too. And so you're opening, you can have your foot flexed if that suits you, and stretch out the front thigh. And we're holding here and breathing. And then put that foot down. Good. Very nice. Now we're just going to lift up, bring that foot back, and come into Sphinx. And we are feeling a sense of relief that we're no longer holding onto our foot and stretching our thigh. And we have our elbows below our shoulders. My neck is, I can't really lift my neck back, so you do your own neck. I like to keep my head in line with my spine, and I'm pressing into my forearms, and I am feeling perhaps my spine curving a little bit more. So you do you, and feel the opening in your chest. And you can turn your head from side to side if you like. Gently, just working on mobility again. Very nice. Now let's just come back down, make a pillow with your hand, forehead on your hands, and we're just going to press into our shoulder, into our hands that are underneath our shoulders, and press up into a modest back bend here. And then we're going to roll down. And we're going to do that again with first our shoulders up, then our chest, then our head, and we'll come down. Then we're going to draw our hands along the side of our body and lift up, but just with our the palms of our hands up, and we're going to lift up here. Breathing, just the top of our body. And then we're going to roll down. And this time we're just going to lift our legs up. So we'll point our toes, and we'll press our arms into the floor, and we'll lift our legs up. And just hold here, breathing. And we'll lower that down. And now we're going to lift our arms and our legs and our chest and our head into locust. And we'll just breathe here, feeling ourselves opening up our shoulders, our shoulder blades are moving down our back. And we're breathing. Very nice. And now we'll come down. Good. Now let's just push back up into our child's pose. And we will just give our body a little counter move to iron out some of those back bend wrinkles. And I'm just stretching my arms forward here. And now I'm going to walk towards the left and stretch, especially that right arm and up and the right hip back. So we're really working on that side body. And then I'm coming back the other way, stretching that arm up and the hip back, feeling the movement here, the opening. And then coming back to the center and feeling a sense of release here. Good. Now we're going to come back, and you'll need a couple of blocks potentially. So we'll get a block or two here. And you'll want them beside you. We're working towards camel today, so that's why we're doing all this lovely movements with our thighs. So I am just going to put my blocks beside my feet, and I'm on my knees, and I am lifting my breastbone up here, so I'm not caving back. I have my xiphoid process and my pelvis in the same line, and I'm feeling myself lifting up here. And as I lift up, I'm opening my chest. You could even, at the beginning, you could just draw your chest open this way and feel your breastbone moving up while you are curving in your back bend. And at a certain point, you could drop your hands onto the blocks here or further down. So you decide what suits you. We're moving towards our heels. You can turn your toes under and drop onto your heels perhaps, if that suits you. And then we're stretching up. So you do you, find your way into keeping this pressure off the lower back, pressing the pelvis out and up. Good. And now we're just going to come up, lift your arms up, and we'll come down and we'll go into our child's pose. Very nice. And let's do that one more time. We're going to come up onto our knees again, and you can have your blocks at your side if you like. You can have your fronts of your feet flat on the ground, or you can turn your toes under and you can reach for your heels. So let's try that again. Let's just open our arms up and out and then back, drawing them back towards the heels, feeling, ooh, you can open out here and lift your chest up. And breathing here. Very nice. And let's open up again and come back down. And this time we'll open wide and come into child's pose. Very nice. And we'll breathe here. Just settling into the floor, feeling the release that we have from that camel. Good. And let's rotate up. And we're going to move on to our back. And you should have a strap nearby and a block needed. Right. So we're just going to come into this place, and you can put a strap around your feet if you like, and stretch your legs up. We're just going to stretch our feet into the strap. We're stretching our heels, we're stretching our toe mounds onto the ceiling. And I tend to draw my legs over a bit too much. So if you want it at 90 degrees, you'll probably want to draw your feet a little bit away from you. I think you can discern what is 90 degrees. Good. And you can draw both legs over a little bit potentially. See how that feels. Does that have any? We're just at the beginning of working with our legs, so you decide what you need to do. And then take the right leg down, left leg up, and we'll hold on to this with our left hand, left foot up, and we'll just open out. There we go. Stretching out through the heel, feeling the liberation here as we open out our leg, and then lifting it back up, crossing it over, and looking towards the other hand. And you find where that leg lands. Does it land on the floor? Does it stay in the air? Your shoulders should be down on the floor. So you do you. And then we'll lift it back up. Good. And let's put the other foot in. And you can have this foot bent, of course, or extended. And we're going to go the other way, lifting that leg across and then back, opening it out. And then we'll do it one more time, lifting it across again, looking at the opposite hand, stretching out through the heel, keeping both heels so that we have very active legs here. Good. And then back again. Very nice. Good. All right. And now let's just draw that leg in towards your nose, well, into your knee and towards your nose. And you'll hold on to the strap. And if you feel like it, you could hold on to your toe, potentially. So you decide what you'd like to do here. And you're stretching out through the heel, the hamstring, and if you like, you could open it out slightly and bring it in. You could make little circles with your foot, just massaging your hip here, and then you can draw it down. Good. And let's try the other leg. We'll draw that one in towards your nose, and you can use the strap to hold it, or you could clasp with your 2 fingers and your thumb, you could clasp that toe and draw it in towards you. And open it out slightly, circle it around, massage that hip. Very nice. Very good. Okay, good. And now let's draw both legs into your knee, into your chest, and plant your feet on the ground. We've done some back bends already, so you're quite primed to do a bridge pose, but we'll do it easily at the beginning. We'll just tilt your pelvis up and feel vertebrae by vertebrae. You're raising your pelvis up, and then you're rotating down. We'll do that 2 more times. So just tilt your pelvis up gently, rotate your spine up, vertebra by vertebra, and then rotate it down. And this time, we're going to plant our feet. We're going to rotate up, and we're going to clasp our hands either on either side of our mat or underneath our torso. So we're going to tilt up, rotate our spine up, and then clasp our hands, roll our shoulders under, and press our feet into the ground. Press our pelvis up, our thighs up, our chest up. You might want to adjust as you become more limber here. And our knees are moving towards the opposite wall as we press our feet in. And really feel the beautiful release of bridge so that we can breathe everywhere in our chest. And we're going to lift our right knee up. If this is in your wheelhouse, stretch your foot up, point the toe, circle the ankle, bend the foot down, and the other side. Stretch the foot up, rotate the ankle, bend the knee down. One last time, foot up, rotate, bend the foot down, foot up, rotate, bend the knee down, stretch up one last time, and then we're going to come down and clasp our knees and just rotate them around one way and then the other. Very nice. Let's shift our hips towards the left and drop our knees towards the right. And we can take if this is fine, you can look at the opposite hand, or you could lift your left leg up and hook the ankle underneath your other leg, and it will deepen that stretch. You could gently place your hand on the thigh and deepen that stretch. So it goes from just dropping your knees to one side and seeing how that feels to deepening the twist. And we're breathing. And now we're going to rotate back onto our back, lift the hips up, shift them in the other direction, drop the legs to the side. This might be where you stay, looking at the opposite arm, or you could lift the top leg up, hook that lower leg underneath the other thigh, and you could place the hand gently on the top thigh, deepening the twist here, and looking at your other arm. Once again, there's no pain here. You might feel a little uncomfortable, but no pain. If there is, you come out of it. And now we're going to roll back. Now here, we can go into Shavasana, or if you have a wall or a structure nearby, you can use as a wall, or you could just stick your legs up the wall, up in the air if you have good balance. I am going to roll into my legs up the wall and just stay here. So you could have a chair here, and then you could bend your knees on the chair, or you could just keep your legs up the wall. So you do you. This is a lovely inversion as a final relaxation pose. And you can just let your arms stretch out in a V beside you, palms up. And you can breathe into your belly, your low ribs, your upper chest, and then exhale. And let's try one more 3-part breath. So breathe into your belly, into your low ribs, into your upper chest. And then exhale deeply. Very nice. So we'll just remain here for a few moments. Feeling if you're in Shavasana, you'll feel all the parts of your body that are settled on the floor, grounding you. If you have legs up the wall, or if you have your legs in the air, you'll feel your sacrum very soundly on the floor, and your back ribs, back of your head, the back of your arms, the back of your hands. And you'll feel maybe the top part of your body just opening out as you settle into the floor. Breathing, and I'll leave you in silence for a moment or two of final relaxation. And in your own time, you can draw your knees towards your chest and feel that sense of comfort and self-care. You can, in your own time, roll onto your side and push yourself up. And today we were working in a sequence towards the camel pose, which I don't do very often, but it is a really significant pose to really work on opening up your front thighs and developing your back bend a little bit more deeply. So I'm going to do more of it because it's hard for me. So, and I'm just reminded of this beautiful quote from the African American poet Maya Angelou. I long, as does every human being, to be at home wherever I find myself. I think that's a beautiful sentiment. So I'm grateful that you joined me today for our shorter Wednesday morning practice. And I'll just put one hand on my hara, that is my power center, 2 inches below my navel, 2 inches inside, and one hand on my heart. And I will empower my heart to kindness and care for myself and for others, and will extend that care and kindness to all living beings in this world. And thank you for joining me. The teacher in me and the student in me honors and salutes the teacher and student in you, and the light in me sees and honors the light in you. Deep bows to all of you.